Hey, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Cartoon Fridays number 53. My name is, of course, Monsters Review. How's everybody's Friday? Did everybody have a good week? My week was pretty decent. I was gonna go see Sausage Party last night, but I didn't end up by going to see it. I'll probably go see it sometime this weekend or something like that.
Hey,
Oh, there's
hey
the
guys,
echo.
what's up?
Yep, this
Welcome to Cartoon
this is
Fridays
a
number
reoccurring
53.
thing. Right there you go. All right, so yeah, how was everybody's week? How's everybody doing? Good. Good, good, good. Cool. Okay. So let's get into our first story. This is big news that surprisingly didn't go. I was kind of surprised. I thought this was going to be a little bit more popular than it was. But it's still pretty big news. So yesterday, Nickelodeon was celebrating 25 years of animation because 25 years ago, yesterday, um, Ren and Stimpy, Doug, and Rugrats premiered on Nickelodeon. August 11th, 1991 is when they premiered. So they were celebrating 25 years of animation. And they announced that, I mean, we all know, or most of us already know, that Hey Arnold is getting a TV special, I think, next year, um, called The Jungle Movie, which is, going to be like the finale that everybody's been waiting for. They announced that like last year, almost a year ago, and then they just released the character designs at Comic Con. Um, so we know that. But they just announced yesterday that Rocko's Modern Life is also getting a TV movie. This is really big news. I like how Nickelodeon's taking or using their older properties. They're not bringing them back for reboots, or they're not doing that kind of stuff. They're just having short term uh, specials, and they're keeping a lot of the heart and the soul in them. Because with Hey Arnold, they brought back Craig Bartlett, who was the creator, to help write and direct the Hey Arnold movie. They brought back a good port, like I'm pretty sure the majority of the voice actors, um, and the art style looks really really similar to. It's a really nice fresh take on the Hey Arnold art style. Um, and that's really good, and I think they're gonna do the same thing here. Um, Joe Murray, who's the guy who created Rocko's Modern Life, actually made a pretty cool blog post about it. Um, he basically just said that Chris Viscardi, who works at Nickelodeon, asked him and said, "Hey, would you be up to do a Rocko's Modern Life special, like a made-for-TV movie?" And he thought about it for a while, and he talked to some of the people he worked with on Rocko's Modern Life, and he's like, should we do this? It was such a great show. Why break it? Or don't break it if it's or don't fix it if it's not broken. I forgot that saying. And they just were like, should we just kind of let this series be, or should we go back and make another special? But they ultimately decided, or Joe ultimately decided, he's like, yeah, I want to do this. Um, so he met with the Nickelodeon executives, and they promised not to water it down, which I am so happy to say because for any of you that did watch Rocko's Modern Life, you'd know that there was a lot of references to adult things in there. There was a lot of sexual innuendos, funny adult jokes. Um, Rocko's Modern Life was full of those, and it's really really funny how much they got away with. Because if something like Rocko's Modern Life aired on Nickelodeon today, I don't know, like parents would be freaking out. There is, and it's not even subtle. Some of the references to adult things in that show are just blatant. But I'm sure most of the kids that grew up watching that didn't understand those references until they grew up. But anyways, Nickelodeon said that they weren't going to water it down, and I am so excited to see what they're gonna do with this. Um, I don't know if it's going to air on Nickelodeon or if it's going to air on the Splat. Um, I mean, given that they are probably going to have some adult references in there, I it might get like a what is it, a TV 14 rating, something like that. I don't know. I'm just really excited to see what they do with it. But they got Joe Murray helped to write the outline for it with Martin Olson and Doug Lawrence. Doug Lawrence, Mr. Lawrence, you guys know him. I'm pretty sure he's the voice of Plankton. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's the voice of Plankton on SpongeBob. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the voice of Plankton, and he's done a lot of work on Rocko's, SpongeBob. He had a lot of stuff on Camp Lazlo. He's a really talented dude. So they wrote the outline, and then they did a storyboard. A lot of the people that were on the crew of Rocko's were under contract and they couldn't do it, or they were too busy. So Joe Murray got Cosmo Sturgeson, I think I pronounced that right. He was from one of the directors on Camp Lazlo, and then he brought in another guy that he used to work with, and a South Park animator to help work on the storyboard. And right now, they don't know what the release date is, but I'm still really excited to see where they go with it. I mean, I don't know if they've done any animation yet or if they've even finished the storyboards, but I'm psyched to see what they do. And he said he didn't want to say much about what this of what the plot is, but he basically just said that the characters it's going to take place in modern time, like 2016, 2017, 2018, whenever this airs, and it's going to involve the characters having to deal with modern life, which is interesting. I don't know how much they're going to integrate social media or phones and the internet. I don't know if they are going to use that or not. If they do, hopefully they're not too hopefully they don't overuse that kind of stuff, because in some circumstances when TV shows are constantly mentioning phones and the internet and social media and that kind of stuff, it can get really irritating and annoying. But I Joe Murray's gonna direct this and or co-direct it, and he helped to write it. And man, oh man, I am excited. I am very very excited. Um, Let me know what you guys think, because I think it's gonna be great. Let's see what you guys are saying. What's up, everybody? What's up, Mr. Golden Age Flamingo, Hawaii Star, Kitty Scout 289, Cyber the Pimp Daddy, Weeaboo123, Andrew Pollard, Chris Klontz, Cool Kid 2016, Dipper. How's everybody doing? Joe Bradley, Game Show. Yeah, Nickelodeon's been doing pretty decent. I have been very pleased with the way that they've been treating their older shows and what they've been doing with the splat. They had the things at Comic Con. They had Mark Summers come back to host Double Dare, with some of the original cast from all that. Then they had Mike O'Malley from Guts to host like a special thing for that. Um, they're doing the Legends of the Hidden Temple movie, which I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I watched the trailer. It does look kind of cheesy and a little generic, and it doesn't look like the acting is very good in it. And I don't know how similar it's going to be to the game show, but I'm still remaining a little bit optimistic about that. But the Hey Arnold movie looks fantastic. I'm looking very forward to this Rocko's Modern Life movie, and the splat's been great. The only Nickelodeon still got some work to do on their main channel, and they've still got a lot of work to do on Nicktoons. But I'm pleased to say that they are doing pretty well with this kind of stuff. Because it was kind of weird too. Like they just celebrated their 25 years of animation, and everybody was like, they keep saying like, "Yay, happy 25 years of animation," all this other stuff, but they weren't really announcing anything, or they weren't really doing anything much to celebrate it, except for the fact that I think they aired the pilots for Doug and Rugrats yesterday. But other than that, they weren't really doing too much for it. So people are like, "Wait, are they going to do something bigger?" And they announced this. So Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Let's see. I mean, I think this can. I like what Nickelodeon's been doing because they've been some reboots turn out really bad. I don't even know if you'd call this a reboot because it's not really a it kind of is a reimagining. Uh, it is kind of. It's not really okay. I don't think it's a remake. I don't think it's a different take. It's just kind of like an updated because a lot, Joe Murray is coming back to work on it, and I'm pretty sure he's going to try to, have a lot of continuity with the original. I don't know if you'd call this a reboot, more of just kind of like a revival TV special that takes place in modern time. So yeah, let's see. Um, you'd like another Rugrats movie? That'd be interesting. I'm not sure if they would do any more Rugrats. Yeah, why do people think that Camp Lazlo was a SpongeBob ripoff? Here's the thing: Joe Murray created Rocko's Modern Life, and the crew on that show is like Mr. Lawrence, Steve Hillenburg, who created SpongeBob, um, and Mr. Lawrence, who's done a good portion of the creative influence in writing on SpongeBob and voices Plankton, and a bunch of the people, or after Rocco's got canceled, Steve Hillenburg pitched SpongeBob to Nickelodeon. It got greenlit, and a bunch of the crew that worked on Rocco's Modern Life hopped on SpongeBob. And then in the mid 2000s, like 2004, 2005, when SpongeBob was having like an employee overhaul after the first SpongeBob movie, Joe Murray got Camp Lazlo greenlit at Cartoon Network, and a bunch of the crew that worked on original SpongeBob went over to Camp Lazlo. So if you see any sort of comparisons, it's not because one show was trying to copy off of another. It's just because this show had a lot of the same people working on it. Uh, so yeah, I have a surprise for you guys. So um, about a week ago, that's a song reference. Anyways, uh, it was last Thursday. I think it was August 4th. Um, I just got done seeing Suicide Squad, and my friends and I went to Walmart to get some groceries, and we came across the $5 bin, and we were looking through it, and we were just laughing at some of the DVDs in there and looking around, seeing what they had. And I came across a Rocko's Modern Life DVD. So I didn't really feel the need to make a full video on it. And I thought it was kind of, coincidental that like exactly a week before they announced the new Rocko's Modern Life special, I got the DVD at Walmart. But anyways, yeah, I made a little mini review. When I've tried playing videos on this stream before, I know the audio isn't great, so uh, you know, hopefully you guys can hear it well enough for you to be able to understand what I'm saying. So, I mean, the audio is probably going to be trash, but anyways, I just put together a little review for you guys. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. Hey guys, welcome to this mini DVD review, and today I'll be reviewing Rocko's Modern Life, The Good, the Bad, and the Wallaby. Like I said before, my friends and I were at Walmart, and I came across this while I was searching through the $5 DVD bin. If we take a look at the front, there's the Rocko's Modern Life logo, and we see Rocko, Ed Bighead, Filbert, Spunky, and Heifer. Here's the side. And here's the back. There's some descriptions. You can pause here if you want to read them, but it basically just gives the show's synopsis and talks a little bit about the history of the show and who worked on it. Then it lists the episodes, which are actually just the first 7 episodes of the series. When we open it up, we see the disc with Spunky on it, and beneath the disc is Rocko, and on the other side, we see Heifer and brief descriptions of the episodes on this DVD. I'd give this DVD a 4 out of 5. The designs of the disc and the case are pretty cool, but the case itself is a really thin plastic that's flimsy and irritating. The show itself is really funny, and if you're a fan of older SpongeBob or Camp Lazlo, chances are you'll like this show since they shared a lot of the same crew. It's funny, there's lots of references and innuendos and adult jokes, and the animation is pretty good. It was definitely worth the $5 I paid for it, but if you're a big fan of Rocko's Modern Life, you're probably just better off buying the complete series set, which you can find for around $20. Anyways, that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this, and now let's send it back to Cartoon Fridays. Hey, so what'd you guys think of that? You guys like that? I might do some more stuff like that in the future, like, do some little segues during Cartoon Fridays. The thing is, though, like, I don't really get that many DVDs. To be honest, I probably get no more than 10 DVDs a year. I don't collect DVDs. It was like this. I went to Walmart, just randomly searched through the $5 DVD bin and came across that. I don't collect DVDs. I just, if I see something and I want it, I'll get it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Anyways, yeah, overview, Rocko's Modern Life TV movie, looking great. Next up, this was really exciting to see. Courage the Cowardly Dog is finally getting its 4th season released onto DVD. This has been a long time coming, to be honest. The first season of Courage the Cowardly Dog was released, I believe, all the way back in 2010. And it's taken them over 5 years just to release the 4 seasons. It sucks to say this, but they've just gotten worse over time. Like, the first release was pretty good. Then, with the second release, it got a little crappier because they used like a really ugly stock menu that was really effortless, and then with the third one they got rid of the slipcover. So there's been a few inconsistencies, but I'm happy to say that they finally are releasing the 4th season. And when this is released, they can say that they released the whole series of Courage the Cowardly Dog on DVD, which is cool to see. These DVDs weren't the best. Like I said, they've kind of gotten worse as the releases have been, getting released. There's no special features. It's just kind of like the episodes on a couple discs. And I feel like they could do way more with it. There definitely is material that could be used as special feature stuff. Like, there has to be some sort of behind the scenes or interview type stuff that they can pull from their archives, or one of the Cartoon Network groovy songs having to do with courage, something like that. They could definitely use that stuff as special features material, but I just wish that they would put more effort into releases like these. So I haven't gotten any of the Courage DVDs yet, but now that they release the whole series on DVD, I'll probably just get that. I'll probably just get all 4. They're really expensive though. I believe it's listed on Amazon right now for $25 for 13 episodes. Doesn't seem like reasonable deal, but I guess it is what it is. And it'll be released on September 27th, 2016, which is a month and a half away. See what you guys think. Let's see. That was great. Please review Rocko's Modern Life sometime. I might. Did you miss anything? You missed a little bit. I talked about the new Rocko's Modern Life TV movie that'll be released, and I gave a little DVD review. After the animation contemplation of Samurai Jack, what will you do next? I'm going to be talking about the Cartoon Institute. Um, you guys like that video? And Blaslow was dope. Um, let's see. Yeah, Sia needs to put more effort into them for sure. Yeah, you can get the whole series of Avatar for 25, $30. But this you're getting 13 episodes. That it's a bit of a ripoff. Okay. So, next up, We Bear Bears is finally getting a DVD release. I was excited to see this. There's not really much info um, about it. It's called Viral Video, so I assume the episode called Viral Video is going to be on there. It's going to be released on October 4th. Um, and the description just says Grizz, Panda, and Ice Bear try to make friends. There's Chloe, a young student, Charlie, a really big, annoying house guest, Nom Nom, an internet celebrity, and Grizz somehow makes friends with a giant burrito. Panda chases after a cute girl, Grizz chases internet fame, and Ice Bear chases after a rogue vacuum robot. So, based on that description, you can assume that the episode Burrito is probably going to be in there. Viral Video is going to be in there. Chloe's probably going to be in there. And, since it's a volume release, it's probably going to be a little bit less than 10 episodes. Maybe, somewhere around 10 episodes, I'd say. But, yeah, I'm probably going to get this. We Bear Bears is honestly one of the only shows I really don't mind on Cartoon Network now. Um, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'll probably get it when it comes out. Let's see. Um, More dumb compilation discs. Warner Bros. We want full season DVDs, not this crap. Well, speaking of full seasons DVDs, Adventure Time season 6 is coming out. It'll be released on October 11th, which is the day after my birthday. Uh, yeah, it's the day after my birthday. Shout out. Anyways, yeah, so they're releasing the 6th season. You got Lumpy Space Princess, and correct me if I'm pretty sure they're also releasing this. I'm pretty sure they're releasing it on DVD and Blu-ray, uh, which is something cool. Yeah, yep. They're doing Blu-ray, which I thought was cool. I don't know if they did season 5 on Blu-ray. Oh, they did. Yep. So yeah, it's cool what they've been doing with the Blu-ray. First 6 seasons on DVD and Blu-ray. Um, which is it's weird. It feels like Cartoon Network hasn't been paying as much attention to Adventure Time and regular show recently. I only see them pop up in like bumpers and stuff. I never, whenever I go onto Cartoon Network, like if I'm just going through the channels watching TV and I come across Cartoon Network, I never see Adventure Time or regular show on. Maybe regular show on occasion. And the last time I saw regular show on there was like at 6 in the morning. Um, so it's cool to see this. Adventure Time or regular show, they just finished up with what, season 7, and I'm pretty sure they've only released the first 3 seasons on DVD. Yeah, yeah, they've only done the first 3 seasons, and they also released regular show the movie. But they've also done a lot of other volume releases, like Slack Pack, Fright Pack, Mordecai Pack, Rigby Pack, so on and so forth. But something odd too is they released the first 2 seasons on DVD and Blu-ray, but they only released the third season of regular show on DVD, not Blu-ray. Uh, so yeah, they screwed up JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Isn't that getting on Toonami? I'm pretty sure I read an article about that. My birthday isn't for another what, 2 months? Do you think the original Powerpuff Girls should get HD remastered soon? That'd be pretty cool to see. Um, do you think the Annoying Orange is a Fred ripoff? It really didn't have anything to do with Fred, other than the fact that they were both YouTube videos. So no. In October, you'll wish me a happy birthday. um, Teen Titans Go. I'm sick of it. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us have been sick of it. All right. Um, yeah, it seems like Adventure Time ever since Pendleton Ward left the show and Rebecca Sugar left the show. It's nowhere near as popular as it used to be. You used to see Adventure Time everywhere. It was like a pop culture staple. You'd see references to it in all these other TV shows. You'd see Adventure Time merchandise everywhere. And it used to air on Cartoon Network all the time. Now you don't really see it anywhere. And it doesn't really air on Cartoon Network that much anymore. And Rebecca Sugar, who wrote a lot of the really good episodes of Adventure Time, went on to work on Steven Universe. And Hamilton Ward, who was, the creator, and he worked hard on the show. I don't know where he went, but he left the show, like, I think it was during season 4 or 5, maybe 3, somewhere around that range. Um, and I feel like Steven Universe has almost kind of taken that crowd of people who really liked Adventure Time and, fit their needs, because a lot of the people that used to be really big fans of Adventure Time have kind of drifted away from that, and they've started watching a lot of Steve Universe. And uh, I feel like Steve Universe is now Cartoon Network's most popular show. Or I don't know if that's the right word to use, or if it's just Steve Universe has the biggest fan base, for Cartoon Network shows. I feel like if you showed someone I feel like more people, like just more people in general, know what Adventure Time is. But Steve Universe has a really big fan base now, and Adventure Time really doesn't have that dedicated fan base that it used to. So, next up, I'm not gonna get political, but I thought this was pretty funny. Billy West, he's a really big voice actor. He's done a lot of the memorable voices from cartoons that you've probably seen. He voiced Fry in Futurama. He voiced Zap Brannigan in Futurama. I'm pretty sure he voiced Ren, and then he voiced Stimpy after John Kay left the show. Pretty sure that, or maybe it was the other way around. No, he voiced Stimpy originally, and then after John Kay left the show, he started voicing Ren too. Um, so yeah, he's a really he's got a lot of stuff on his resume, and on his Twitter, he posted these videos where he recites Donald Trump quotes using his Zap Brannigan voice, and it's so funny. You guys should check it out. Just look up Billy West on Twitter, and he has these short videos. I'm pretty sure they're on his Instagram too. Um, and they're just it's him reciting Donald Trump quotes, like direct Donald Trump quotes using his Zap Brannigan voice. I thought it was really funny. If you guys want to check that out. Then our last news for today is that I don't know if any of you go to Hot Topic. Personally, I don't. But for those of you that do, Cartoon Network released a collection of clothing with them. Um, and they have dresses, shirts, stuff like that. Um, and they have it for a bunch of different shows too. Like they have some stuff with Adventure Time. They have some Steve Universe stuff. They have Powerpuff Girls stuff, and they even have Courage the Cowardly Dog and Dexter's Lab stuff. So if any of you are interested, I'll post the links to those after the stream is over. But yeah, that's the news. Hope you guys enjoyed those. Now it's time for Q&A time. So if you guys have any questions for me, leave them in the chat, and I'd be more than happy to answer them. Yep, he voiced Doug. Yep, that's true. I'm not sure if he was originally supposed to voice Jim or Zim from Invader Zim. I'm pretty sure the same guy who voiced Invader Zim was the same guy who voiced Billy from Billy and Mandy. For his name, it's like Rick Horovitz or something like that. What was his name? It was, yeah, Rick Horvitz. I was close. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they already did, announce that they were working on Adventure Time or on an Adventure Time movie that was supposed to hit, like, that's supposed to be in theaters, but I haven't heard anything about it. Um, let's see. How much does Hi Hi Puffy Ami Umi air on, or Hi Hi Puffy Ami Umi air on Cartoon Network now? It doesn't air on there at all. I don't think it's aired on Cartoon Network in like 10 years. Hey Rant, how you doing? Let's see. Um, um, do you think Christina Miller is being too much of a moral guardian slash soccer mom? I mean, I don't know. I haven't. She really hasn't done many interviews or uh, she really hasn't put herself out there. Um, so I can't really say what she's like if she hasn't, if she's not letting people know who she is. um, any thoughts on Jay Farrow and Taron Killam? Wait, they're leaving SNL? No way. Really? That sucks. No way. That sucks. Oh, he was let go. Okay. So he wasn't he didn't leave per se. He got fired. That sucks. They were funny. You think people are overreacting to the CalArts style thing, or do you think their claims are valid? If I'm correct, I think you're talking about how a lot of people are complaining that pretty much everybody that comes out of art or that comes out of CalArts has a similar way of drawing and like a similar art style. Um, like I don't know, I'm pretty sure you're talking about because I've seen certain things comparing like Adventure Time, Steve Universe, Gumball, and like Dipper from Gravity Falls, and how they all have like the same facial structure, and how a lot of them just have a really similar design. Um, I mean, it is really irritating. I would like to see more variety with the art styles because it's really odd how similar a lot of the art styles have become on Cartoon Network recently, uh, with background characters, with everything. So I mean, I think some people are overreacting to it, but I don't know. I wish that there was a little bit more variation. What do you think of Gumball? I really haven't seen that much of it, but I think it's all right. It's a little bit too hyperactive and I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit too high energy for me, but I still think it's a pretty decent show. Do I think Invader Zim will rerun on the Splat? Oh crap! I butchered that. Do you think Invader Zim will rerun on the Splat? There you go. Um, no, I don't think it will. It just doesn't fit in with the theme that the Splat's trying to go for. They have they have like a lot of comedic shows on there when it comes to cartoons. They've got uh, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, that kind of stuff. And Invader Zim's like it's kind of dark, kind of gothic, sci-fi. It doesn't feel like it fit in with what the Splat's trying to go for, and it wasn't really even though they have some shows from like around the time of Invader Zim, it wasn't really it doesn't fit in well with the other '90s Nicktoons, and I don't think I don't know it just doesn't I don't think it would feel right being on the Splat, and I feel like it'd do better on Nicktoons because that's kind of where that show's always been, and it you know I don't know it's kind of like an action cartoon too. Um, Shows like Avatar and Jimmy Neutron and Invader Zim kind of belong over on Nicktoons. Um, and that's I feel like that's kind of where they should go. Um, is Christina trying to kill off regular show and Adventure Time? I don't know. That's a good question. Do I play Five Nights at Freddy's? No. And by the way, if any of you are artists, I used to feature this because some people used to send it in, but I haven't in a while because I just haven't gotten anything. If any of you draw or paint or do any sort of art stuff, it'd be cool if anybody made a fan art. I'll feature it on here. Any classic cartoons of you're thinking of reviewing in the future? I don't know. Yeah, I really haven't thought of much. You're still waiting for Bravest Warriors. Didn't they put something on there? Um, I'm pretty sure Frederator did something like they made it so you can only watch Bee and Puppy Cat and Bravest Warriors on like a payment platform or something like that, and a lot of people are mad. I haven't really seen much about it. Billy and Mandy reboot. I wouldn't want to see that. I think it'd just be better if they did Underfist, which is it was supposed to be a spin-off of Billy and Mandy, and it had Fred Burger and Irwin and uh, General Scar and some other people in there. It looked pretty awesome, but Cartoon Network didn't greenlight it. Um, you want Steven Universe to be released on Blu-ray by the season? I mean, I don't know if I would get it. I know that they've done a couple of volume releases, but sure, why not? I probably wouldn't end up by buying it, but they it's a popular show, and I'm sure people would want to get the season sets. Your live video graphics are awesome. What program or software do you use for this? Thank you. I use to make my graphics. I use Adobe Photoshop, and for streaming, I use Open Broadcasting Software (OBS). Yeah. The thin outlines, roundish bodies, round body shapes slash proportions. That's kind of like the CalArts thing that a lot of people are complaining about. Yeah, like I said, I just wish there was more variation. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's it's something that's so frequent now. I don't know. It's just kind of annoying to see it everywhere. Did I like Victorious? Yeah, I did like Victorious. That was a pretty decent show. What's my favorite cartoon ever? I don't think I really have one. Do I like South Park? Yeah, I love South Park. South Park's great. South Park's got to be in my top five favorite cartoons of all time, if that counts. If Sausage Party does well in the box office, do you think it'll give adult animation a bright future? Yeah, I think it will. It's definitely unlike anything you know we've seen. It it's an animated feature about food in a grocery store, except it's rated R, and they have like drug use and swear, and and I think it is going to do well at the box office. So, yeah, I think we might see a lot more of that in the future. What cartoon do you think overstayed its welcome? Simpsons and SpongeBob. What do I think of Cartoon Network Saturday movies? They're usually not that good. It's like what? It's always like Diary of a Wimpy Kid or Shrek or Garfield or something like that. It's I don't know. It's like the Shrek movies aren't that bad, but they just always air the same movies. Um, whoops. I think the Loud House looks like later seasons of Dexter's Lab due to the fact that Chris Savino worked on both. Uh, I mean, not really. I mean, there really wasn't much difference. There was minor differences, but there really wasn't much different uh from the first season or from the first two seasons to the last two seasons of Dexter's Lab. Like I said, there was a few minor differences, but it wasn't really anything too much. And it's not like Chris Savino was like the storyboard artist or the character designer for the later seasons either. He was just the guy who was in charge of it. Like he basically took Gendy Tartakovsky's job. Have I ever seen Flintstones on the Rocks? No, but I have heard of it. That's like the special they did in like 2001. What's your opinion on D Gray Man? I don't know who or what that is. Have I ever played Lego Star Wars? Yeah, I've played the Lego Star Wars the complete saga, Lego Star Wars the prequel ones, and then Lego Star Wars the original trilogy. But I haven't done anything past that. Like I haven't done Lego Star Wars the Force Awakens or Lego Star Wars Clone Wars. Yeah, Christina Miller is really keeping a low profile, which is something that's not cool. There's some CEOs like and presidents like Elon Musk and whoever's in charge of T-Mobile. I forgot his name, but like they have so much personality. They're always doing press interviews. They're always letting the world a little bit into their lives, and they're very transparent. But Christina Miller doesn't seem to be very transparent because nobody really knows much about her or what she does and what she thinks. There are people online saying that Nicktoons is in a Renaissance era. Is this true? No, that couldn't be the farthest. That is so far from the truth. Nicktoons is not in a Renaissance era. They are far from it. I'd say the Renaissance era was probably during the mid to late 2000s. Where property shouldn't be brought back. Um, Ed Nettie, uh, Powerpuff Girls, uh, Dexter's Lab, probably, maybe. I don't know. I mean, there's really no reason to bring back Dexter's Lab. Um, uh, let's think for a sec. Yeah, I mean, there's just certain shows where it's just like let them be. They don't need to be brought back. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. Some shows, however, are expandable and are reasonable enough to have some sort of spin-off. I'm definitely more open to spin-offs than I am for reboots. Yeah, an Under Fist spin-off would be great. Maxwell Adams is still working on Dead Meat though. What are your thoughts on the Angry Birds movie and Sausage Party? I was gonna go see Sausage Party, but I didn't. But it looks pretty funny. I haven't seen the Angry Birds movie. I heard the Angry Birds movie was like decent. It was like nothing great, but it wasn't bad either. Um, What do I think about Ed, Edd n Eddy? It's a fantastic show. It's great. It's a timeless classic. Should Cartoon Network go back? Oh, should Cartoon Network go back to how they were as a channel during the 1990s and 2000s, making shows that were more designed and intended to be for cartoon fans? I mean, let's see. When were they more successful, now or back then? I don't know. That's a good. Were they? I don't know. I feel like so many people remember their older shows, and I feel like I mean, even though, yeah, I don't know. Um, I do think that they should go back to the logic of them creating I don't know. They had a good variety in of shows, and they were character driven. I mean, they had some shows that were action, some shows that were comedy, and they had a good blend of new programming and old programming. Um, and they had a lot of new programming. Um, so yeah. I mean, in certain aspects, I feel like they should go back to the way that they were kind of working in the 2000s and 90s. But some things, I don't know if they would work today. Favorite adult animated film? Um, hmm. I don't know. That's a good question. I can't recall many that I've seen. Maybe like South Park, uh, bigger, longer, and uncut. Is the Ed and Eddie DVD giveaway over yet? Yeah, it's been over for like 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. It's been over for a while. Did I watch the Teen Choice Awards? Nope. Do I watch Nick Jr.? Nope. Yeah, Harvey Beaks is good. I've tried getting into the Loud House. Um, one episode I liked that I saw. One episode I wasn't really feeling. Um, I don't know. I really I don't know. I don't really find some of it is a little bit too bouncy for me. Um, I'm going to still try watching it and see what I think about it, but I don't think it's bad. Harvey Beaks is pretty great. I wish Nickelodeon would promote it more. Like they're always talking about SpongeBob and Alvin and the Chipmunks, but Loud House and Harvey Beaks deserve more attention. Yeah, that's crazy. If the Check It era keeps going for a couple more months, then it's gonna be, or not a couple, but if the Check It era goes for like another year, it's gonna surpass the Powerhouse era as being the longest running Cartoon Network era. Like, it's crazy. Um, let's see. Do you think the Nintendo animated movies being worked on are going to be good? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, there really hasn't been much hope with video game movies, with Warcraft, Ratchet and Clank, that kind of stuff. So we'll just have to see and find out. What did I think about the news on the Rocko's Modern Life reboot? I'm excited for it. It's not really a reboot though; it's more of just like a revival. Do I like Futurama? I love Futurama. Futurama's great. Am I friends with Pie Guy? I mean, we exchanged a couple of tweets, but that's all I've really talked to him. Uh, yeah. Thoughts on Ned's Declassified? That was a great show. It was pretty funny. I don't know how well it holds up today, but I remember watching it, and I remember it being pretty funny. What's your least favorite episode of Ed and Eddie? Good question. It probably was one where uh, I don't know. It was probably one with the Kinker sisters. Like I like the Kanker sisters. They're pretty cool, but I don't know. I used to get annoyed by them. Like some episodes I wasn't really fond of that had the Kanker sisters in them. Should Cartoon Network make more Ben 10? I don't think so. But um I don't know. Some people have different opinions than me. Um I feel like Ben 10 has had its time. It's been over 10 years that Ben 10's been on air, and I don't think it needs a reboot. The only reason they're bringing it back is because money. Uh, that's on Chowder and Flapjack. Pretty decent series. Do I like hot Cheetos? I don't think I've ever had hot Cheetos. To be honest. Oh, that house is doing better than SpongeBob. That's unusual. Um, Jonas Brothers or Big Time Rush? I don't know. Probably big. That's a good question. I don't know. What happened to Nick and Moore? I don't know. It seems like that the guy who runs it has been having some problems because for the past like what 2 or 3 years he keeps shutting it down and bringing it back. So I don't know what's up with him. That used to be the place where I used to go to for where I used to get my news from on Cartoon Fridays, but it's been tough with him. Do I hate Bendy from Foster's Home? I do not like Bendy. Bendy was horrible. Do you want to appear in a podcast with Herbal Taxi? That'd be pretty awesome. You guys should start up like a hashtag or something. Hashtag get Monsters Review on Pizza Party Podcast. What's my least favorite episode of SpongeBob? Probably something from the more recent seasons. First Generator Rex? I don't know. They should air that show. Like, man, oh man, would that be cool if Cartoon Network did an action block like every week or something like that? Where they just take a night from like, I don't know, 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and they just take that time and air some of their older action shows like Samurai Jack and Generator Rex, and uh, and even some of their acquired stuff like Teen Titans. Man, would that be awesome? But they would probably never do that. Yeah, seriously, I don't think I've ever had hot Cheetos. How would you feel if a 2D animated feature made a total of $3 billion at the box office? That would be an enormous success. That would be great. That would cause a lot of people in Hollywood to start making more 2D movies. No, I love spicy food. It's just I don't really eat Cheetos. I can't remember. I literally can't remember the last time I had like regular Cheetos. I just don't eat that kind of stuff. Favorite kinds of art styles? Um, Good question. I kind of like the Teen Titans Go art style where it's kind of like half Western, half Japanese, kind of. That's a pretty cool style for action cartoons. Um, let's see. Obviously, I love Samurai Jack's art style. Um, hmm, Ed, Ed and Eddie has a great art style too. Those are some of my favorites. Notice how Christina Miller never greenlit an original show: Powerpuff Girls 2016, Justice League Action Ben 10 2016, and Mighty Sword. I mean, technically, Justice League Action isn't a Cartoon Network original. It's Warner Bros. Show, but still, yeah. I don't know. Um, let's see. Have you ever seen Influenza the musical? No, I haven't seen that. Um, do I watch Dan and Phil? I've seen some of their videos before. I've seen more Dan than Phil, but I've seen some of their videos before. I don't watch them though. When do I think Teen Titans Go will be canceled? Probably not for a while. No, on Cartoon Network. Will there be a Cartoon Network Christmas 5? I don't know. Maybe. Do you think the Powerpuff Girls will improve in its second season? Probably not. Just because a lot of the changes that they've made to it that are not that great will probably be things that are set in stone. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what more they could do to make it better. I mean, they could change a lot of things about it, but then it wouldn't be the same as it was originally. Do I remember watching Megas XLR? Yeah, I do. Who would be bad at dabbing? Ed, Double D, or Eddie? Probably Double D. Do I like Nostalgia Critic and Angry Video Game Nerd? I don't watch Angry. What's his name? Angry Video Game Nerd. Yeah, obviously I don't watch him. I don't think I've ever seen any of his videos. I don't know. I don't really watch people that like. I don't watch John Tron or Donkey or Angry Video Game Nerd. I don't watch people that review and rant about video games because I'm not really. I don't know. I'm not that passionate about video gaming. Um, but I've seen some of Nostalgia Critic stuff. I'm not subscribed to him, but I have seen some of his stuff, and it's pretty good. Who's my favorite NFL team? I don't really watch the NFL, but if I had to pick one, it'd probably be the Patriots. I guess. I don't even understand how to play football that well. I've always been a basketball person. If they did a Ben 10 show when he's an adult, would that be a good idea? Um, I mean, maybe. I just feel like I don't know, like why they would, other than the fact that more money. The reason why he has been like a kid and a teenager is probably just to be more relatable to the audience. And speaking of which, um, I know that this might sound a little bit of it might sound like a little bit of a generalization, but like 90s Cartoon Network, um, from all of the different shows, the main characters were so different. Um, you had Dexter, who was like I mean, with the exception of him, he was a kid, but he was, a mad scientist. You had Courage the Cowardly Dog, who was a dog. Um, you had, the Eds. You had, hold on a sec. I'm looking them up right now. Um, so you had the girls, you know, superheroes. Dexter, mad scientist. Um, Kirk's the Cowardly Dog, obviously a dog. Johnny Bravo, who's an adult who kind of acts like a child but is an adult, like an adult pervert. Then you got the Eds, and let's see, yeah, Cow and Chicken, IR Weasel, or no, I Am Weasel. The other the other way around. It was IR Baboon and I Am Weasel. So yeah, there's that. But then today I just see a bunch of I don't know, teenaged kids and younger kids. Like, you got Clarence, and you got Finn, and you got Steve Universe, and you got Gumball, who, even though he's a cat, he's, like, he's basically a kid. Uh, I don't know. I wish that there was more variation. Like, there would be animals, and there'd be, you know, uh, anywhere from being an adult to a kid. I probably just explained that really poorly, but I hope you guys know what I'm trying to say. um, let's see. Cheese or Fred burger? Um, oh, it went black. There we go. Um, Probably Fred burger. Let's see. If the last Airbender movie has a sequel, do you think The Rock should play the Boulder? That would be interesting to see. Do I watch Vinesauce? No, I don't. I don't really know who that is. Why can't Christina Miller end the Cheka era? I don't know. Good question. What's your thoughts on Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion? It was a pretty decent game. I mean, it was just kind of like a rip off of Smash Bros. Except Cartoon Network characters, but it was still pretty good. Um, I don't know if they would make a sequel or not. Oh, whoops. What do I think about Zootopia? I haven't seen it yet. What do you think about the electric Piper being found? I don't know what that is. I haven't heard of that. Do I like anime? Yeah, I like some anime. Some of it I don't like, but I mostly like action stuff. Like One Punch Man was pretty good. Parasite, Black Lagoon, Dead Man Wonderland, Naruto, that kind of stuff. When it comes to like drama or romance or like relationships and that kind of stuff in anime, I just kind of cringe. I don't like that kind of stuff. Yeah, more variety with characters. Corey in the House or just Jordan? Probably Corey in the House. Best anime. What do I think of Liquid Plaza Turbo being greenlit? I don't think it ever was officially greenlit. It's just like they did the OKKO shorts, and then they had that animation jam thing, but I don't think they've done anything more than that. I would love to see it as a full series though. What cartoon series do you think were canceled too quickly? Uh, Symbionic Titan, Young Justice, uh, probably Time Squad. That show should have gone on for a little bit longer. Um, Trying to think. Yeah, I mean those are just some to name a few. If Liquid Plaza Turbo, Underfist, Galactic Kids Next Door, Regular Show, and Adventure Time had premiere episodes on Friday nights, it would be awesome. Yeah, that would be like the best thing ever. All right. Red Winners or Pickle and Peanut? Ugh, why would you ask that? I guess I'd say breadwinners. I'm ashamed to say that. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed Cartoon Fridays number 53, please leave a like below. And yeah, I think I'm actually, for those of you that haven't seen it, I'm just gonna play the review I had in the earlier portion of the episode. But yeah, I'm gonna close it out here. Thanks for watching, and have a great Friday night and a great weekend. Hey guys, welcome to this mini DVD review, and today I'll be reviewing Rocko's Modern Life, The Good, the Bad, and the Wallaby. Like I said before, my friends and I were at Walmart, and I came across this while I was searching through the $5 DVD bin. If we take a look at the front, there's the Rocko's Modern Life logo, and we see Rocko, Ed Bighead, Filbert, Spunky, and Heifer. Here's the side. And here's the back. There's some descriptions, you can pause here if you want to read them, but it basically just gives the show's synopsis and talks a little bit about the history of the show and who worked on it. Then it lists the episodes, which are actually just the first 7 episodes of the series. When we open it up, we see the disc with Spunky on it, and beneath the disc is Rocko, and on the other side we see Heifer and brief descriptions of the episodes on this DVD. I'd give this DVD a 4 out of 5. The designs of the disc and the case are pretty cool, but the case itself is a really thin plastic that's flimsy and irritating. The show itself is really funny, and if you're a fan of older SpongeBob or Camp Lazlo, chances are you'll like this show since they shared a lot of the same crew. It's funny, there's lots of references and innuendos and adult jokes, and the animation is pretty good. It was definitely worth the $5 I paid for it, but if you're a big fan of Rocko's Modern Life, you're probably just better off buying the complete series set, which you can find for around $20. Anyways, that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this, and now let's send it back to Cartoon Fridays.